Awesome. Good morning. And it's so awesome to be here on this call. We've had such an amazing week so far. And, at the end of a storm, there's always great things that happen. Those of you who are not in Florida, I know you guys kind of were on the outside looking in, a lot of concerns. Thank you guys for that. Listen, there's always great things that happen after tragic or tragedy. We cannot go into a depressed mode. We got to stay focused. And then we got to kind of make sacrifices for our working family, our clients, our customers, and move forward. Moving forward is key to anything. Because if we don't move forward, we get sad, depressed, and everything else. So put an extended hand out to those that could use a good boost and encouragement. And those of you who are out of the state of Florida or in Florida that weren't as impacted, thank you guys for all reaching out. We appreciate that. So here's the thing. I put together a no pain, no gain, 7 sacrifices worth making it in the name of longevity. So here's the thing, guys. So Coach Curtis, Debbie, and DJ, the 3 of us collaborate probably at least twice a week on exactly this here. So I'm kind of going to go through this stuff, and I didn't prepare them on this, so I'm not going to put them on the spot like I always do and go, hey, Curtis, hey, Debbie, what do you think? But these are things that we talk about often. So I was teaching a class in Kissimmee, and inside that room, there was a lot of people scared. There's a lot of people concerned, worried. Here's what I say. If you're concerned, worried, or scared, that means you're not prepared. So I want you to kind of think about this for a little bit. You have to make sacrifices to stay in this long term. You must sacrifice your comfort. Growth and comfort cannot coexist. If you're going to find success, then you must get uncomfortable. The activities you fear the most are probably the very activities that you will lead to business growth, that will lead to business growth. So what do you fear the most? And do that. See, we don't know the outcome. We just judge the process. That's what we do. We go, I'm not calling a for sale by owner. I'm not knocking on their door. I'm not going to ask them at a garage sale, if they're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to sit here and you're going to give me leads. Go find a team to be on. That's what I got to say to you. If you're looking for leads and you're looking for the easy way, there's plenty of agents on here that run teams. Reach out to them and tell them, I don't want to be a business owner. I want to be on your team. But that's okay too. Some people thrive on teams, right? Because it's the group collaboration. But if you're not out there doing the work, don't expect someone to call you and say, hey, I got 100 leads for you with no referral fee. It's not going to happen. I've never had that happen in my career, ever. So you must sacrifice your comfort. You got to get out there. You got to get uncomfortable. There was a young lady that made a post in Workplace. She made 57 calls and she was scared to death. The outcome was she talked to 19 people. She got 3 listing appointments, a buyer appointment, and then she built up her database. She said she was so excited she couldn't wait to do it the next day. She was scared, and she did it because she was challenged by her coach. Imagine that. She was challenged by a coach. So here's what I have to say is, what are you doing to become uncomfortable to get the rewards that you thrive to have? You must make sacrifices with your money. A portion of every check you receive should be invested back into your business. If you're not investing it back into your business through lead generation, through something that's providing a growth of your business, here's what I would say. If you get a $10,000 commission check and you don't put any of that money into your business, How are you expecting that to grow? Honestly, you have to invest back in your business. So rule of thumb, and I'm going to kind of open this up here as a mastermind conversation here in a minute, but rule of thumb is 10% of your gross should go to your business, 10%. So that means you take $1,000 and you invest it in your business. If it's farming, if it's whatever it is, buying more signs, buying whatever it is, invest back into your business. So those of you who get that $10,000 check that don't do anything with that money and then go to the next sale and then you don't grow, I promise you, this is a temporary income for you. There was a young man I talked to in Orlando. His name was Orlando. Great young man. He's not with our company. Oh my gosh, I could have stayed there all day talking to this young man. He's 36. I say young because I'm only 5 years older than him. Anyway, he said, I'm the best buyer's agent out there and I can't wait. I'm gonna build my career on being a buyer's agent. And I said, that's fantastic. Where are you going to get all those buyer leads? He goes, I don't know. I'm thinking about paying Zillow and Realtor.com. And I said, how much money have you made this year? He goes, I only had 3 closings, but I heard if I spend like $5,000 a month. No, guys, here's the thing. Invest your paycheck into your business, not take a gamble on hoping that you end up with a ton of leads. Maybe, maybe not. That's not a risk. That's just, don't do that. All right. So you got to be cautious with your money. Most top producers decide to forgo expensive vacations, expensive cars, or possessions like watches, handbags, and everything else just to grow their business. A friend of mine told his wife, we're doing no renovations for the next 10 years in our home. She wanted a brand new kitchen. He said, the money we're going to pay for that kitchen, we're going to invest in this business so we can have everything that you want in 10 years. Sacrifices. Are you making sacrifices for your business? You got to do it. It's critical. Agents must sacrifice your time. How long has it been since you were the first one of your office? Now we're a virtual real estate company, but who's the one that gets up every single morning and gets at it early? I'm looking to the right here. I see Steve Pugh's office right there. I know him so well, and I could probably tell you his patterns in the morning. You know what? He runs a huge business. He's the first one in the office every day, or Andrew is, which is right behind him, who's 19 years old, who's had 20-something closings year to date.
No, I'm first. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Don't, thank you.
No, don't steal that from him. He deserves it. How long has it been since you made an outbound call outside of the company, outside of your sphere of influence? How long has it been since you called an expired listing that popped up in your MLS? By the way, they are there. Just look at your MLS every single day. Knock on the door if you don't want to call. Hey, I noticed that your home came up expired. I have buyers in this community. Are you still selling your home, by the way? Oh, you are. That's fantastic. Will you be interviewing the right agent soon to help you get this home sold? No, I'm going to contact my old agent. Oh, I'm a little surprised. Have they contacted you? You know, what would they do differently? The definition of insanity, right? Know your scripts, build your skill set. Okay. So your time, your ego, guys, you want to talk about egos? Mostly men and mostly men have I don't know. I've been told that I have a stupid ego, not as much today as I did 20 years ago, but I will tell you, put your ego aside. I don't care how handsome you are, how good looking you are, or anything like that there. If you put your ego aside and you put your business first, you will thrive. You gotta put your ego aside. You gotta dress the part. You gotta be the part. Agents make sacrifice on their passivity. You got to make outbound calls. You got to initiate real estate conversations. You know, I said we listed a property and sold the property for a guy from New York. Here's how I met him. I never go through a drive-through. My wife hates it. She goes crazy because I always go inside. So I walked into Dunkin' Donuts one day and it was screaming hot outside. And all I said was, what do you think about the weather? He goes, I hate it. I just moved down here in the wintertime. This heat is horrible. I can't stand it. I want to move back to New York. I said, fantastic. Do you have a home to sell? I can help you. We sold his house. Didn't know who he was, but I initiated a conversation that was called a lead-in. Are you building your skill set to know how to do that? Send direct mail pieces to a farm area for a minimum of 6 months. See, without doing it for a minimum of 6 months, so most people say at least a year before you see the results. Guys, it is massive opportunity. Farming is still highly successful. Agents must sacrifice relationships. Here's a good one. So the young man that I was talking to in Orlando, I said, I don't know if he's on the call, but hopefully he doesn't feel insulted when I say this, because this is really with a good heart. He said, I really like my broker. She's a friend. She's helped me a lot, but I need to grow. I said, fantastic. Who's more important, your family or your broker? He said, my family. I said, it's nothing personal, it's business. If people can't take business and personal and separate the two, there's a problem. Sacrifice some of the relationships and incorporate new relationships that are business driven for you. Eliminate the poison, eliminate the naysayers, eliminate the ones who are going to sink you, right? There's a book called Mindset, and it talks about anchors and engines, right? Who here can swim with a 100-pound anchor out in the middle of the ocean? Maybe for about 3 strokes, and then you're sinking, right? Now, if there was an engine behind the life preserver, you would get into shore, right? So who do you want to hang out with? Do you want to hang out with those anchors or those engines? Many, many, many people over the last 22 years of my real estate career, I have 0 conversations with, and I like them. They're good people, but they're not people that can be part of my business world. You know, they're always negative. Oh, they're only lucky. You know, how come they succeed and I don't? You know, I don't surround myself around those people. Agents must sacrifice their limited beliefs. Who talks about this most is Fred DeFalco on Wednesdays. The limited beliefs. Life has no limitations except the ones you make. What you believe is possible for your business will never go further than your mind believes possible for you. Now, some of you know a young lady in Jacksonville with another company of ours. 6 years ago, she was completely broke, going through a divorce with 3 children, had no family support, 0. And she made a commitment to make something work. And this young lady today has a team of about 15, and she does about 175 million in sales. And she did this in less than 5 years. Now she's probably above that. Number one, she got a coach the first day she started in real estate, had no money. She got a coach. And the second thing she did is she committed to doing the work. She worked her butt off. And now people say, oh, if I was her, of course I could do that. But what did she put in at the beginning? She knew that her belief system, she went to a course called Bold. By the way, we got 3 coaches here, Curtis, Debbie, and DJ, who know that program. And that program right there, her first week she was in the course, that, and I don't know who the exact instructor was at the time, J. Michael Manley, that is what drove her. Coach Curtis and Debbie and DJ teach, and they have programs on this that will help you thrive. Yes, that's exactly right, Natasha. Right? So getting rid of those limited beliefs is the biggest problem. So if you take your limited beliefs and your ego away, you have nothing but thriving opportunity. I challenge Steve Pugh on a lot of things every day, and I feel I'm a good support for him, but he'll call me with frustration. And I always say this: what would you tell the agents working for you? Right? And he goes, yeah, it's my own mindset. It's my own mindset. And I'm not beating you up, Steve. I'm just using this as an example. So as I go through this, I'm going to open it up. And I know some of you have a hard stop at 9. What resonated with you? What is an action item that you're going to take? Agents must sacrifice their comfort, their money, their time, their ego and pride, their passivity, some relationships, and their limited beliefs. There's a young lady that was at Build that has she has 3 children with with her significant other, and her and I had a very deep conversation about him being the biggest anchor in her business. How sad is that? And by the way, she's only made close to $200,000 this year. The anchor is his ego and pride is probably in the way, right? So how does she separate the two? I don't know. That's going to be a deep conversation that she needs to have. But also, what are the relationships you need to keep out of your business to move forward with your business? So I know we got some chats in here. And now this is a mastermind for you guys. I know we have several guests on the call, and I know that because I invited you guys in based on other agents. And I said, please get on this call. I think it's going to make a massive impact for you. So Coach Debbie, DJ, Curtis, what are your thoughts on kind of what we talked about in here, and what input and what do you see and what do you hear?
Well, first of all, does everybody know who DJ is? Did you introduce DJ?
You know what? Go ahead. I'm sorry. DJ, I can accept I'll accept the ignorance on my part. I'm going to put the ego and the pride on the side. So Curtis, go ahead.
There's like 62 people on here going, who is he talking about? Who is he talking about? Well, listen, I'll give you the short version. So DJ and I and Tom and of course, Debbie, we all go way back. I'm not going to tell you DJ's story, but she's an incredible coach. She's partnered up with us, and of course, she's joined us. And so I will tell you this part just real quick, and then we'll let her tell her story. But the 4 of us have put together a company called Agent Growth Institute, and we'll be providing materials and a lot of different things for agents out there. And it's, of course, open to all agents. So we've done that, and in putting that together, we brought DJ in. Again, our friendships and stuff go way back from Keller Williams and the real estate business and stuff like that. So we brought her with us. And of course, she's joined us not only at AGI, but here at EXP. Other than that, I'll let her tell her story. So DJ, why don't you tell everybody your story?
I think my ego was, if you didn't, I thought y'all knew who I was. So
there's the ego.
The ego. What are you gonna do? My story is just like everybody else's. It's like I've been in real estate forever, since '96. Done just about everything in the industry. Retired from KW in 18, went into coaching, and that's what I've been doing. Caught up with Debbie and Curtis. What, about 6 months ago? Something like that. I moved out to Palm Desert, California, and then COVID hit and California's crazy. So I came back to Florida, and so then we caught up and decided we wanted to work together. And then they told me about EXP, and I was totally blown away. And I just joined EXP 2 weeks ago. So I'm excited to be here. And we do have, just so you know, we have an online virtual webinar next week on 7 steps to recession-proof your business. If you want more information, I can put that link in the chat.
That's fantastic. Guys, you have no idea. I know George talks about this often, but you have no idea between the three of them alone and with addition with Liz. I mean, I'm sorry, with, yeah, Liz too, but Claire, there's going to be so much opportunity for some programs that are rolling out. I highly encourage you, remember, make an investment into your business. Those things will be coming up. And we're super excited about rolling those out because it will make a difference in you and your business and everything else. So perfect. So sorry, DJ, I didn't make that announcement, but Curtis told me he would make the announcement and he totally forgot, I think.
I know, it's always Curtis's fault. We blame him for everything.
Debbie.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Hey, Tom, you know what I love about coming on these calls is I'm guilty of all the things you just talked about, like all of them. The reason I like hanging out with you and Curtis and DJ is because I have limiting beliefs. I need help taking action and having courage. I need help with all those things. And so I surround myself with people because I go in and out of those things too, right? I get to the next level of my business and I get paralyzed with indecision and I need someone to kick my butt to help me with limiting beliefs. And so a thing that Curtis likes to say to me all the time is, how long are you going to continue to whine about that? Well, but here's the thing. That's why I'm friends with him, because I need people to remind me. And what I usually say is, can I have 5 more minutes? Just 5 minutes. Can I have 5 minutes? He's like, okay, I'm starting the timer. Go. I'll whine. I get it off my chest, and then we can create a plan. So who you surround yourself really matters, and everybody gets stuck. The only thing I'd add to your list, Tom, that you said today was surrounding all those things that you need to do to find success in the next year. The thing that all of us are doing is we're also looking at our expenses and saying, what can we do to cut them? I called AT&T yesterday and said, I don't have really great service. What can I do to reduce my bill? So also recognizing that I don't know what this next year is going to bring, but I want to cut my expenses as much as possible. I can add in all the fluff in 6 months if my revenue accelerates. But if it doesn't, I want to make sure I'm as lean as, and by the way, you should be doing that every year at business planning time anyways, is what expenses can I cut? Here's a down and dirty way. I know some leaders cut up all their credit cards at the end of every year because everybody will have to contact them in order to get the new card. And that way they're aware of all their expenses and they only add back in what is essential. So it is something that every year as a business owner, you're going to want to go line by line. And we've shared tools in the past on how to do that to support whatever this, if this next year kills it, add every single thing back in. But if this year becomes challenging, if you're running lean, you'll be able to navigate really well.
Thank you for that, Debbie, because what, I kind of thought the same thing is, calling my credit card company and just telling them I need a new card with a new number just to see that, because almost every day I see, $10 for your this and $10 for your Netflix and this and that and this. And before you know it, you're talking a couple $100 a month for things that are not. And here's the other thing. There's services that I reached out for that are like $40 a month that I'm not utilizing, that are great services, by the way. So those two, I have to correct those. So thank you, Debbie. She had to leave.
Can I just add one more thing to that?
Yeah, DJ.
Just doing that one time is not enough. You
No.
have to track it every month. And that's the only way you're going to have control of your budget, is to track it.
100%. It has to be on your monthly P&L. You got to look at it. Awesome. DJ, thank you for bringing that up. And Aha's thoughts on what we talked about today. Was this helpful for you? Come on, let's all interact.
Yes, yes, yes.
I love your energy, Star. Deep,
Morning, Tom. Amazing call as usual.
you are my favorite over George. I have to tell you, he's not on the call, so it doesn't matter. I'm not worried what he thinks either, so.
Me either. Welcome Friday. Going back to ego, what you just said was so important. And even with being in the business for 17 damn years, we have that. And I'm going to give you a very simple example that you just brought it up today and it just hit me. Me and Alina have their own personal office. We want to be away from everybody. We like the COVID plague. We want to be not surround myself with people. So this week I decided to join a team, I joined a EXP office that I mentioned to you about the broker who brought his whole team, because I see his mindset, I see how he's growing. And I had to put my ego aside and say, you know what, I'm going to jump in his office. I'm going to help him grow his business, and I'm going to learn whatever I can to step my game up. So it's all about that. You know, even being in the business for 17 years, people think we've figured it out. And the day we decide that we figured it out, that's the day we should check out. So thank you for this call, and I really needed that, and that tells me everything. Whatever decision I made yesterday, it's the right decision.
Awesome. Good to hear. You made an investment, but also you made an investment in the right area that's going to drive you forward, right? You didn't question the investment. You knew it was going to grow and you were going to help others grow. You know, iron sharpens iron, right? I mean, here's the thing. Nobody succeeds alone. All right. Floor is open.
Facts, Tom, facts. Teamwork made the dream work.
It does. We're all in the same industry for the same purpose. Doesn't mean we can't help each other. So great. All right.
Ego is the devil of opportunity, my friend.
Always.
You know what I mean? I made a couple notes as always. I think our ego stops us from fear of being rejected. We don't want our ego to be damaged based on rejection that we get. You know what I mean? People won't make social media videos because they don't want their ego to be damaged because of feedback from other people that they may get. So we've got to think about that. Going back to, you know what I mean, making the calls, Tom, as I said on Wednesday when we got together, a third of it, you know, you're going to have times, it comes in thirds, right? So if you're lead generating 5 days a week, a third of it is going to suck, a third of it is going to be okay, and a third of it is going to be amazing. What will separate the achievers from the non-achievers is the consistency, right? We want instant gratification, and that's not going to happen. We've got to get in the mindset where we're not going to get the results right away, but we understand that every action creates a reaction, and that we're going to see those results in 60, 90 days, you know? And then the other thing is, I wanted to say is, as you do something daily, your confidence grows, your dialogues will get better, and then you can influence people to make the right decisions, which then in turn will lead to them writing contracts. You know what I mean? And you closing deals. I think that's all I had. I mean, that's the biggest thing for me is just doing things consistently. I mean, if you're not time blocking your day and you're not doing the activities, then your strength within those activities, you won't get better because you're not doing it daily. So
Yeah, 100%. You know what? And you have to believe in your strength. Honestly, you got to believe in what you can deliver, and you got to believe in your heart that you're making an impact on others. So opened up. Come on.
right, you should be, as I said, you should be influencing your clients. Your clients shouldn't be influencing you. You're the local economist of choice, you know? So
100%. Curtis, what's up, brother?
I was reading a chat. Sorry.
Curtis is one of the most, he thinks so deep, guys. Honestly, he absorbs all the information and then he comes out with golden nuggets. I'm telling
Oh,
you.
stop. Not true. I steal everything from other people.
No, you
All
don't.
of it.
We steal it from you.
Here's the, okay, so I'm gonna go, so I love where everybody's head's at. And I think I have to bring something up because it's been a topic of conversation. Then yesterday I had to pick a group of loan officers up off the floor. And I don't know, maybe they're unique in what they're experiencing right this second. Maybe they're not. Maybe some of you might be experiencing the same thing. So I just wanted to share a couple of little things just real quick, because we're at a very critical time. Not only are we entering the fourth quarter, right? Like 7 days ago, right? Actually, we entered it a month ago. If you're in real estate and you understand lag time, we entered it a month ago. But here we are in the middle of the fourth quarter. We got rising interest rates. We had a hurricane come through. Many of us, we weren't affected. Some of us were. We got this pending recession that may or may not be here. Who knows? Global crises, all these things. It's all this mess. And it's all bad. And it's all bad. And that can play a part on us. And so as I got on this call yesterday, I actually called my coach first. And I was like, listen, I got to go pick a bunch of loan officers up off the floor that are struggling. And they're running around and who knows what they were doing, but I trust that it worked. But here's the thing. So we talked about it. We talked about a couple of things, and you guys have been talking about it right here, which is number one, mindset. And so I just want to remind you, listen, mindset right now is more important than ever before, And we have to be conscious and aware of that on a daily basis. So we need that checkup from the neck up, that are we surrounding ourselves with the right people? Are we having the right conversation? I'm going to tell you now, stay away from the news. Stay away from the news. Are we doing the right things to stay in that right frame of mind so that we can do all the incredible things that Tom just talked about? The things that we know that we should be doing, or some things that we need to add to our businesses. Here's the one thing, I was talking to an agent the other day. Debbie just brought up bills and stuff like that. How many of us, and obviously I'm not looking for an answer, but how many of us, we don't go through our bills on a monthly basis, our expenses on a month. We should be doing that. How many of us ignore them because we know they're out there and they're evil, and I don't want to address that problem. But we need to address that problem, right? But first and foremost, mindset checkup from the neck up. Who are you surrounding yourself with? Are you having the right conversations? Are you staying away from the bad conversation? And certainly stay away from the news, because more important than ever, this is an incredible time in real estate. And listen, you can make it. There will be people. Again, there's never been a time 0 houses were sold, ever. Opportunity is out there, and it's for you for the taking. We have to stay in that right frame of mind. The second thing you need to do is make a decision that this is my business. This is the business that I am committed to. And I saw in the chat, the feed, whatever, somebody talking, and I'm not certain who they're talking about, but a young lady in Orlando makes a conscious decision that I'm going to go into real estate, and within 4 or 5 years, whatever, is some monster mega agent. But what she did was she made a decision that this is what I'm going to do. This is the business that I'm going to be in. And then she committed, and it was 100% or more. And so we all need to do that. It's mindset, make the decision, and then make certain that you're committed 100%. And then let's go do the things that we know that we're supposed to be doing in order to live the lives we want and have all the things. And my friends, you will be fine through this, all this nonsense that's happening and occurring out there. Some people will come out of this like a mega agent. Some, and it could be all of you. So I just wanted to share that because I had to have that conversation yesterday with some loan originators. Here's the thing. This is why it's so important. This is even how the topic came up. We did have a hurricane come through. And if you think with me for a moment, there are real estate agents in South Florida that probably will not sell a home in the next 12 months. Not one. They probably have some deals under contract that aren't going to close. Right now, what they're dealing with, and you guys have probably seen it on the Florida broker thing, they're talking about all the contracts and the force majeure and all this other stuff, because there are people wanting to get out of all their contracts. I don't want to sell my house anymore. I can't. I don't have a roof. or whatever. And here's the worst part about it. I've been in real estate for a long time. Many of those real estate agents weren't prepared. In other words, they don't have the savings to fund themselves for the next whatever, right? They don't. They don't. And it's a shame and it's awful. And it is what it is. But it's things that we talk about. And so are you prepared for the uncontrollable things? You know, are you doing the things you can control? And are you prepared for the things you can't control? We knew that hurricane was coming. We live in Florida. We know that hurricanes are possible every time. And what happens every time a hurricane comes? They shut off insurance. People stop buying houses. If it comes through and devastates us, we have no closings. So anyway, sorry, they didn't want to get all sideways or whatever, but we're all in this business and I trust that you all want to be here. I know you do because you're showing up at 8:30 in the morning every Friday.
Curtis,
Let's be business owners.
thank you. That was, by the way, guys, he coaches one of the largest loan mortgage companies. And I guarantee their applications are down over 50%
Oh,
year over year or more. So now they're scared, right? And it was Curtis that had to go there and pick them up and change their mindset. If you're not surrounded by the right people to correct your mindset, that's the purpose of a coach in an environment, right? Just like that one video I used to play a lot, and I probably got to play it again, you know, facing the Giants, the leader of the team was doubting the winning the game. When the leader is doubting something, then there's a loss already happened. And when the leader is encouraging, there's a win that's getting ready to happen. Krista, good morning.
Can
Good
I
morning,
get-
everybody. Hi. I just wanted to say, yesterday I was with a lender and he was saying his mortgage applications are on par with 2008. So he sounded scared and, wanted to partner with us to see what we could do as far as lead generating. So, I think a lot of us have been in that business, right, for a long time. So we know it's a cycle and we know if we do the activities that we do, we are going to come through the other end. So, but it was interesting to see somebody like that I have respect for, talk in fear about, how much the applications had gone down in par with 2008. And then the other thing I wanted just to mention, because we were talking about business planning today, I have a little group of newer agents, and I don't know if there's newer agents in this group, and they were asking me why we are planning 2023. So, we need to tell these newer agents that our activities now are going to pay off 60 to 90 days, right? That's why we're starting to do the business planning now in October. So whoever has that question obviously can come to any of us and ask us what we're doing, why we're doing this. I think we think, as you, Tom, you and I think that it's normal and relevant, but they're like, wait, we're still in 2022. So just wanted to mention that.
Krista, thanks for the checkup on that, because you're so right. We speak in the realtor business language, right? And they're still new to it. Everything that we do today affects 90 days from now, right? You're so dead on. So that's the explanation for that. The more prepared we are, the more we're going to be able to handle the next hurricane, the next season, the next winter, the next fall, summer. Those of you who prepare now will thrive in the first quarter. Those of you who decide to wait till January to do business planning, you already missed the whole quarter of the year. So thank you, Krista. And are you going to be attending the 25th down in Fort Lauderdale? I know there was conflicting things on the event,
Yes.
but I'll get that clarified.
Yes, for sure. Mhm.
Okay.
Thank you.
Can I add one more thing?
DJ, of course.
On an up note, is that for those of you that are serious, is that about 30% of the realtors that are there working now are not going to be working by the end of 2023. Somebody's got to take their business, no matter if it's just 1 or 2 deals a year. And for those of us that are scared, they're going to sit back. And so it's an excellent opportunity, you guys. I mean, like Tom said, every bad thing is followed by a good thing. And if you take advantage of the people that are not smart enough, smart as you are, to go out and get the business, people are always gonna buy and sell. Some of you aren't as old as I am, so, but I remember buying a house at 17% interest. So you gotta, you know, there is business out there. You just have to find where it is and go where it is. So, yes, there you go.
So,
It's not all doom and
DJ,
gloom.
so DJ, you put in the chat box that you're doing a recession-proof workshop on the 11th, correct?
Correct. We have three, Tom. I'm doing the one on the 11th, and Curtis is doing one on the 18th, and then Debbie's doing one on the 25th. It's all
Okay.
the same workshop, whatever you can make. The two first ones I think are at 1 o'clock, and then Debbie's is at I think 11 and Eastern Standard Time.
Okay, DJ, I invited you into the master page. If you guys want to do an event, create the event on the master
Okay.
page, and it'll go off to all the agents in our group as well.
Okay.
So thank you for putting all that together. I told you, listen, this is a powerhouse GPS group. I'll tell you, with the knowledge and the experience and the coaching experience and everything that we have here, from top producers to mega coaches, this is the place to be. If you want to grow your business, listen to what's being said, and don't just listen. The most important thing is take action. Take action. The floor is yours, ladies and gentlemen. We got 11 minutes, and I'm out right as soon as it hits 9:30. I gotta go. I gotta go get in my feet dirty. And by the way, these hands are like female hands. They're soft and tender, not knocking females that are hard workers, but I don't get my hands dirty. So hopefully I put gloves on and everything else. No, okay. Curtis is laughing. He's probably the same way.
Hey, thank you, everybody. Curtis, are you going to EXPCon?
No, I'm not going. I chose not to go to any more super spreader events this year.
Ah, come on.
Nope. I'm out.
All right, I'll give you the rundown. I'll come see you when I get back.
One super spreader event per year. That's it. Came back sick from Dallas.
His wife got sick. He spread it. So Stevie, when do you leave?
We fly out Monday, late Monday afternoon.
Okay, fantastic. We're excited to hear how that goes. We have several agents going, so have an amazing time. I'm still not a no, but if I get a guest that wants to go from my area or so or wherever, then I'll make a last minute call to jump on a flight and go.
It's gonna be awesome, man. I'm excited.
It is.
Pumped, baby, I'm pumped.
Tony Fuentes, is he on the call? He'll be there too. So Ali.
Hey,
Curtis, go ahead.
well, I didn't know if anybody else was going to say anything. I wanted to share one last thing. Liz, did you want to say something? Liz going like this. Liz don't like to talk. All right, here's the deal. So I just want to share this. I mean, unless anybody else has got anything, I want to leave on a positive note. And again, whatever I shared, I wasn't trying to be Debbie Downer. I certainly wasn't. I just want us to be aware of those types of things. And so anyway, I've got this great little book, and it's called The First Thing Every Morning. And it's got a little story in here. And I was going to share it yesterday with my loan officers, but I didn't have to after having the conversation, getting some of their feedback. But I do want to share it with you guys, if you don't mind. And it'll just take a moment, but I turned to this one page, and this is what it says. And so it's just got these great little stories of inspiration and things like that in here. And I remember seeing this one way back when, and I just wanted to share it. So it says, I was just thinking about, and it says, facing trouble head on. Because I think, listen, we've been talking about these things for the past, quite honestly, we've been talking about it. I went back and looked, and I was talking to DJ yesterday. We've been talking about the market shifting since March. That's when it shifted, March. And yet when I was talking to a couple of people the other day, they were acting like it just showed up today. And I was like, are you kidding me? We've been talking about this for like 8 months. And so what I find is that, and what DJ finds is that people kind of got frozen in their tracks, or they just sort of ignored it. Well, it's here, it's been here, and all the things. And so if we just start taking action, that stuff will show up. I promise you. Promise you. And I promise you also that there's tons of opportunity out there. Tons. So I'll tell you real quick. I got some of the loan officers to make care calls. Right? Just, hey, how you doing? After the hurricane, whatever. You know what they told me? After 5 phone calls, they got like 3 pre-approvals, 3 applications. I'm like, I didn't even tell them to talk about business. All I did was tell them to call people and ask them how they're doing after the hurricane. Like, it's just silly, but the opportunity is out there. But anyway, let me share this. Enough talking. All right, so this is what it says. Growing up, I loved to be around and looked up to the West Texas Cowboys. I remembered them telling me about a lesson to be learned from cattle. In the terrible winter blizzards, most cattle would turn their backs to the icy wind and slowly drift downwind until they reached a boundary fence. With nowhere further to go, the cattle would stand motionless and helpless against the wind and snow. They would slowly become covered with ice and snow, dying by the scores. But Hereford cattle respond differently. These cattle would instinctively head towards the windy blasts, stand shoulder to shoulder with bowed heads to face nature's onslaught. You almost always found Hereford cattle alive and well once the storm passed. The Cowboys told me that that was the greatest lesson you could learn from the prairie, just to meet adversity head on and face life's storms. I also read a story recently about a 67-year-old man who stood on a curb and watched his life's work burn up in December of 1914. Adding insult to injuries, his property was only insured for $238,000. Far less than $2 million worth of damage that had occurred. His 24-year-old son, Charles, said, "My heart aches for him. He was 67, no longer a young man, and everything he owned was going up in flames." When Charles found his father that night, however, he was surprised to hear his dad's request. He said, "Find your mom and bring her out here. She will never, ever, ever see anything like this again as long as she lives." The next morning, the old man gathered his employees at the charred ruins and said, "There is great value in disaster. All of our mistakes are burned up. Thank God we can start anew." 3 weeks later, Thomas Edison delivered us his first phonograph. How do you explain this ability? I'm not really sure. But maybe it was best explained by Dr. Norman Vincent Peale when he said, "Great people rise above adversity by turning tribulations into triumphs, failures into fortunes, and burdens into blessings."
That was good. That was good. All our mistakes burnt up. I'm sorry.
That's all I had for you.
I love it.
You made my day. You made my day.
So, I will tell you this, everyone, thank you for being on the call right to the end, because that was worth staying right to the very end. Curtis, thank you for delivering that. And here's the thing, we all read daily stories. I know I didn't read my morning story on Tuesday, but Steve Pugh brought his book, so I read it. And then I shared that in one of our meetings. So get something with daily affirmations, get something that gets your day started right. I appreciate everyone who's participated, and those of you who did not participate, I hope that you took something from this call that's going to definitely make an impact in you and your business. And the guests that we have, I hope that you got something out of this call that helps you grow your business and have an amazing weekend. Nice to meet you too, DJ. Sorry, I didn't introduce you. Any guests on our call want to give an aha or how did you feel? What did you learn? What was good? Any feedback? Anybody new on the call want to or a guest want to make a comment? All right. All right. Tiffany.
I'm here. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, DJ. Thank you. Oh, I lost Debbie. Thank you, Coach Curtis. I appreciate you guys.
Claire's